It's a guilty plea from the woman accused of killing a Portsmouth man in a drunk driving wrong way crash in Virginia Beach. Today, Melissa Hancock entered that plea to aggravated DUI manslaughter, driving the wrong way and failing to obey a highway sign. 13 News Now reporter Stephen Graves spoke with the victim's family, and he joins us in the studio.
Yeah, Daniel Dill would have been celebrating his birthday next week if he wasn't killed. His family hasn't forgiven Hancock just yet. They do say today was a step forward, but they hope she and others can learn from their tragedy. Melissa Hancock entered the courtroom in a wheelchair, still injured from the deadly crash she caused. With a straight face, she pleaded guilty to aggravated DUI manslaughter, facing 20 years in prison, but then left in tears. Outside,
you can take somebody's life, ruin yours, destroy an entire family.
Tears, too, from a now widowed Natalie Dill, her husband Daniel, a U.S. Coast Guardsman, the victim.
And I just miss him so much. I lost my best friend and my husband.
Prosecutors proved that Hancock drove drunk onto Interstate 264, headed the wrong way, hitting Dill head-on at about 60 miles per hour near the Bird Neck exit in Virginia Beach. She was coming from Peabody's nightclub at the oceanfront last November. The 4-foot, 100-pound former Little Women Atlanta star had a blood alcohol content of more than twice the legal limit. Documents say troopers on scene told her about Dill's injuries, but she said, quote, "Well, I'm ready to go home." Dill later died, but that early morning his wife says he was the designated driver on the way to pick her up from a birthday celebration.
An Uber costs $5–10. Lyft. There's so many options nowadays that this should not be occurring ever. Ever.
I mean, she took Dan from us. Took such a big part of our lives. And hopefully somewhere down the line we'll find some forgiveness for this young lady.
Now, Hancock actually has relatives in Virginia Beach. She still needs to be served a DUI charge. That means come sentencing in October, she could face another year, making it a max of 21 years in prison. Stephen Graves, 13 News Now.